Hey friends, welcome back to the Light Inside Me channel. If you've been following our self-development series, welcome back. If you're new or missed the last episode, don't worry, you can find the full playlist at the end of this video. These lessons aren't just inspiring ideas, they're daily, actionable approaches to living a more mindful, empowered life. So make sure to subscribe, like this video, and drop a "keep it up" in the comments to help us keep growing this community. Let's talk about anger. Today, we're getting real about something we all deal with: anger. Not the kind that fights for justice, I'm talking about the kind that makes you want to throw your phone across the room, or yell at the person driving 20 under the limit. Yeah, that kind. We often think anger gives us power. But what if I told you it's more like pouring sugar into your gas tank? It might give you a quick burst, but it's wrecking your engine. Seneca said it best. Anger is like ruin, it overturns all that it carries with it. So today, we'll explore why anger is more of a weakness than a strength, and how to cool down before it blows up your peace of mind. Lesson 1. You don't have to have an opinion. Let's start with something countercultural: not having an opinion. In a world obsessed with hot takes, instant reactions, and online arguments, it might feel rebellious to say "I don't know" or "I'm not sure," but it's actually a form of strength. The philosopher Epictetus reminded us it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. When we cling too tightly to our beliefs, we block new perspectives, fresh insight, and even truth. So how do we embrace the art of the mental shrug? 1. Question everything. Don't take things at face value. Stay curious. 2. Embrace uncertainty. Life is full of it, and that's okay. Let go of the need for constant control. 3. Seek diverse perspectives. Real growth happens when we listen, not when we preach. 4. Practice humility. It's okay not to know everything. Wisdom begins with admitting we don't. Real-world example: instead of arguing politics, try to understand someone's views. Instead of commenting on every piece of gossip or social media drama, just observe. You don't need to weigh in on everything. Bottom line, choosing not to have an opinion is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom, openness, and peace. Lesson 2. Anger is bad fuel. Let's return to that simmering, seething anger we mentioned earlier. We often confuse anger with strength, like it gives us power, control, or dominance. But in truth, anger is a loss of control. It clouds your thinking. It damages your health, your relationships, and your peace. It's bad fuel. It burns hot and fast, but leaves you empty. When you're angry, your body goes into overdrive: heart pounding, blood pressure rising, stress chemicals flooding your system. It's not sustainable. You might win the moment, but you'll lose the long game. So how do we break the anger cycle? 1. Recognize the warning signs. Anger builds. Notice the tension in your body, the racing thoughts, the short fuse. 2. Step away and cool down. Take a walk. Breathe. Let the storm pass before speaking or acting. 3. Find the root cause. Anger often masks deeper emotions: fear, pain, frustration. Look inward. 4. Use healthy outlets. Exercise, journal, talk it out. Don't bottle it up, move it through. 5. Practice forgiveness, not for them, but for you. Letting go sets you free. A final thought: holding on to anger is like drinking poison and hoping someone else gets sick. And clinging to opinions, it's just another form of inner tension. The Stoics weren't emotionless, they were emotionally disciplined. You can be strong and calm, you can be wise and open, you can live with clarity, even in a noisy world. So let's do that. together. Real-life applications, how to put this into practice, the road rage resistor. Instead of flipping off the driver who just cut you off, take a deep breath and let it go. Remember, your anger won't change their behavior, but it will ruin your day. The office email bomb diffuser. When your boss or coworker says something that gets under your skin, resist the urge to fire off that instant angry email. Step away, cool down, and return with a clear head. You'll gain more respect by responding calmly than reacting emotionally. The family peacemaker. During tense moments with family, it's easy to escalate. But instead of going to battle, try this pause. Truly listen, and express your own feelings without blame. Real connection comes from understanding, not overpowering. Bottom line, anger might feel energizing in the moment, but it's like running your car on garbage fuel. It burns hot, leaves a mess, and eventually breaks you down. When you learn to recognize your early warning signs, step away before reacting, explore what's really bothering you, and express it in healthy ways. You take back control of your emotional engine, and when you add forgiveness to the mix, you stop carrying around someone else's weight. As the Buddha said, holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. Building your fortress of solitude. How to protect your peace. We all crave peace of mind, but in a world filled with noise and demands, it's something we have to actively protect. So how do we build a stronghold for the soul, a mental sanctuary that shields us from the chaos? Let's practice mindfulness. Mindfulness helps us stay rooted in the present. By becoming more aware of our thoughts and emotions without judgment, we can start letting go of the anxieties and overthinking that steal our peace. 2. Cultivate gratitude. Gratitude shifts our focus. Instead of obsessing over what we don't have, we begin to appreciate what we already do. As the saying goes, what you appreciate, appreciates. 3. Spend time in nature. Nature has a natural calming effect. Whether it's a walk through the trees, sitting under the sky, or hiking a quiet trail, being in nature grounds us. As John Muir said, in every walk with nature, one receives far more than he seeks. 4. Unplug from technology. Let's be real, our screens never stop buzzing. Phones, tablets, emails, always demanding attention. Take regular digital breaks. Reconnect with yourself. Your soul needs offline time. Real-world examples. The digital detox. Many people find that stepping away from tech, even for a weekend, brings huge clarity and calm. No apps, no scroll, just you. The morning meditation ritual. Starting your day with just a few minutes of calm breathing or guided meditation can shift your entire mental state from reactive to centered. The nature reset therapists often recommend time in nature to lower stress, anxiety, and even symptoms of depression. Nature doesn't demand, it restores. Bottom line, protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's essential. It's not a luxury, it's your foundation. When you set boundaries, slow down, focus on the present, and disconnect from the noise, you start building that inner fortress, a place no one can invade. As Epictetus wisely said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life, and it is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Let's talk about pleasure, not the cozy kind you get from a warm hug or a good book, but the intense, addictive kind that keeps us chasing highs we can't hold on to. The kind of pleasure that starts as a thrill and ends in a trap. The pleasure trap. Pleasure is a powerful motivator. It drives us to eat, explore, love, and create. But when we start chasing it mindlessly, it turns into a cycle that robs us of joy. As Epicurus once said, not what we have, but what we enjoy, constitutes our abundance. But he also warned too much of anything becomes its own form of poverty. This is the hedonic treadmill in action. The more we indulge, the more we adapt, and the less satisfied we become. So we chase more dopamine, more thrills, but we're never truly fulfilled. And eventually that chase leaves us feeling numb, disconnected, and empty. As Socrates put it, the unexamined life is not worth living. But we might add, the unexamined pleasure is not worth pursuing. So how do we break free from this cycle? 1. Practice mindful indulgence. Enjoy pleasure, but do it intentionally. Slow down, be present, savor the moment. Don't let pleasure become a mindless reflex or a constant craving. 2. Diversify your pleasures. Don't rely on just one thing to feel good. Try new hobbies, experiences, and activities that stimulate different parts of you mentally, physically, spiritually. 3. Prioritize meaning. Over sensation, pleasure fades, but purpose sustains. Seek out what gives your life meaning: connection, creativity, contribution, growth. 4. Cultivate gratitude. Gratitude shifts the focus from what's missing to what's already here. By appreciating the simple things, we start finding joy in the present, not the next hit. 5. Seek support if needed. If pleasure-seeking turns into a compulsion, whether it's food, alcohol, work, or screens, don't go it alone. Therapists, counselors, or support groups can help you find freedom. Real-world examples. The mindful eater, instead of binging, the mindful eater learns to slow down, taste each bite, and tune into their body's natural signals. The digital unplugger. The social media addict sets boundaries, unfollows toxic accounts, and replaces screen time with real-world connection. The reformed workaholic, instead of chasing promotions and burnout, they shift focus to health, relationships, and inner peace, building success on their own terms. The bottom line: pleasure isn't the enemy, but mindless indulgence is. By practicing awareness, diversifying your sources of joy, focusing on what truly matters, and seeking help when needed, you free yourself from the empty chase and create a life full of real richness. As Aristotle said, happiness depends upon ourselves. All right, folks, let's get real about something we all struggle with: impulse control. We're not just talking about that third slice of pizza you didn't need. We're talking about the ability to pause, reflect, and respond wisely, instead of reacting emotionally and regretting it later. The impulsive brain. Here's the thing: our brains weren't built for modern life. They were designed for survival. So when we sense a threat or an opportunity, the amygdala, our emotional command center, jumps into action, triggering the fight or flight response. This is helpful if you're being chased by a tiger, but not so much when you're reading a snarky email or dealing with rush hour traffic. As Aristotle wisely said, anybody can become angry, that is easy. But to be angry with the right person, to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose, and in the right way, that is not within everyone's power. The question is, how do we train ourselves to respond instead of react? Five tools to build better choices. 1. Hit the pause button. When you feel that emotional surge, stop. Take a breath. Count to 10. Step away if you need to. This gives your rational brain, the prefrontal cortex, time to catch up before your emotions take the wheel. 2. Ask the right questions. What are the facts? What are my options? What are the possible consequences? What would the wisest version of me do right now? These questions create space between impulse and action, and that space is where smart decisions happen. 3. Rehearse in low-stakes situations. Practice thoughtful action in small ways. Wait 24 hours before a big purchase. Save that angry message as a draft and revisit it later. Think of it as mental weightlifting for your decision-making muscles. 4. Strengthen the mindfulness muscle. Mindfulness teaches us to pause, notice, and respond. By staying present and non-judgmental, you become more aware of your impulses and more empowered to choose a better path. 5. Learn from mentors. Talk to a therapist, a teacher, or someone you respect. Learn from their experience. Let their wisdom guide your decision-making when your emotions feel like they're in charge. Real-life applications. The road rage trigger. Instead of screaming at the driver who cut you off, take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Spoiler, it's not. The heated argument. In the middle of a fight with your partner, hit pause, take a walk, cool down, and come back when you're calmer. You'll have a better conversation and a stronger relationship. The impulse buy. Before clicking buy now, ask, do I really need this? Will it bring lasting joy or just a 5-minute dopamine buzz? The bottom line, impulse control isn't about perfection, it's about practice. It's about choosing not to let your emotions make your decisions for you. As Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Train that pause. Live from intention, not reaction. Real-world examples. Let's see this in daily life. The stressed-out student. A student overwhelmed by an upcoming exam might find themselves plagued by dreams of failure or being unprepared. Once they realize their mind is echoing their waking stress, they can take steps to ease their anxiety, like studying intentionally, meditating before bed, or improving sleep hygiene. The grieving widow. A woman mourning her late husband might dream of him often. These dreams, though emotional, can become a sacred space for processing grief, finding comfort in his memory, and slowly moving toward healing and closure. The creative writer. A writer wrestling with a creative block might have a strange, vivid dream that sparks a brand new story idea. Instead of brushing it off, they embrace it as a gift from the unconscious, proof that inspiration can come from the most unexpected places. The bottom line, dreams can feel like mysteries wrapped in chaos, but they don't have to control us. By understanding the meaning behind them, shifting our perspective, and nurturing better sleep, we can turn nightmares into sources of insight, creativity, and even healing. As Langston Hughes said, hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly.